I'm a speedrunner. This is what I do. Now let me share with you. Or invite you, I should say.
So you took out that class and you took something else.
Are you talking about D&D or my school?
Yes, cool.
Yes, but so far that class is a joke. I showed up there, and apparently every other student in the class is like, the teacher has yet to show up to class on time.
Whoa.
And it's now Friday. And people are saying that there's a bunch of reading. And it's basically like read at home and then you come into class and do the work. But apparently he's never showed up on time yet. And he's not even a real professor. He's like a associate professor, which is like in between the teacher assistant to the full-time professor.
Not even the main guy.
Exactly. Okay, left side's all clear.
Also, I might have to remake the playcaster you created because my point of doing spell I always doing strength. Your setup is like all routed.
I didn't make a Bladecaster on your account. I
You
made a
did.
Barbarian.
You did.
The guy called Points Farmer?
What?
The guy called Points Farmer?
I don't remember the name. I just know that that was a playcaster.
I'm pretty sure that guy's a Barbarian. But yeah, go ahead and remake him by the time I reincarnate.
And I get to level up 2 people when you level up yours.
Exactly. Alright, working on the center section now.
Cloak of +5 reflex.
I know. Perfect. Alright, middle section's done now.
Okay.
So left is clear, now middle. By the way, we have a, well, we might have a D&D game next weekend. Or not next weekend, next week. Next month, sorry. Jesus.
Are you
Getting
excited?
Not really. Which is unfortunate, but it's just because they want to restart. This happens every single time we go, like, more than 2 months without playing D&D. They're like, well, I don't really remember anything, and I don't want to play my old character. Let's just restart. So we end up making characters to, like, level 5.
But-
and then everyone's like, I'm so busy. I don't have time to play. And then we just make new ones months down the road.
They take notes whenever they play so
Yeah.
that they remember it properly.
For the most part, yeah, but it's also them just not wanting to play that class anymore, which I think is stupid because half of them don't even play different classes. Like, there's one guy that always plays a fighter. Always. He's never played anything else. He's played a paladin, but he's always played some type of fighting class. It basically, out of 9 out of 10 characters are a fighter, the 10th one is a paladin. Does that make sense?
Okay.
The guy just loves melee combat. And he's the one that got everyone going. Was like, guys, I think we should all restart and make up, roll new characters and do that and do that and do that and do that. And I'm like, I hate starting characters and not finishing them.
Yeah.
But I made a fighter cleric because I was like, I want to be as good as a fighter and I want to be able to heal myself and people if needed. And I was like, well, if I ever made another character, I would make a paladin because I've never done a paladin and I've never played a fighter, to be honest, though. Although, to be fair, though, I roll so well and I play so smart that I don't think a fighter would actually be... Being a fighter would benefit me that much.
Yeah. You play a wizard and somehow hit stronger than a fighter.
Yeah, I mean, my druid had... by the end, before we ended up having to quit, because the thing is, we only quit playing the campaign that had my druid because I was so strong and everyone else was so weak. There was such a big difference in power level. By the way, I just cleared the top section next to the floor traps.
Coming there.
Okay. But the only reason we stopped was because I was playing so well, and so druids need the least experience points out of anyone in the game. Because, I mean, who the fuck plays a druid? This isn't like 5th edition where druids are OP as holy hell, and everyone's playing them. Hi.
Hi.
It's all clear for you. This is first edition. Druids cannot wear metal armor. They cannot use most weapons. They cannot use most shields. They don't have that many offensive spells to begin with. They only get it at like higher levels. So by the end, it's like, oh, I don't want to. Most people are probably like, I don't want to play a druid. I want to play a cleric where I can heal myself more. But then in reality, when you play the druid, you're like, hold on. I can shapeshift 3 times and fully heal myself 3 times a day. And because I dual wield... No, that's trash. And because I was a dual wielding druid, I had twice as many attacks. So when the fighter has 1 sword and 1 shield, and I have 2 swords, I'm dealing double damage anyways. And I'm not a fighter, he is. I just happen to use 2 weapons. Alright, whole area's clear. And then I have more hit points than him because he keeps dying, so he keeps losing constitution permanently. And then... Hello. Once you get that, just head back up. So, like, I was doing more damage than a fighter. I had more hit points as a fighter. I was healing myself, like 3 times a day. It's about 30 to 60%, so it comes out to be about half your health each time. That's the way I look at it. And the thing is, I roll really well. So when you add all of that together, I was dangerous. And so by the time I was level 12, almost level 13, they were level 8. That's how much, or how little XP I needed. Like, I was almost 5 levels ahead of them. Because of the XP difference, which I get makes sense. I need 200,000, they need 1.1 million. Nice job. Oh shit, 12,000. Nice. And so by the end, by the end of the campaign, or by the time we stopped, you had a 12 level druid who was dealing 4 to 10 times as much damage as everyone else because I would shapeshift, double my attacks, and then I would get even more damage because I'm a bear. So I get even more damage. Alright, we're gonna have to travel together, okay?
Okay.
I'll just wait for you in there. But I was dealing more damage by myself than the entire party put together. And I'm not exaggerating. I might be like, oh, I claw for 6 damage, but then I add 10 because I'm super strong. So now I'm dealing 16 damage. And I attack 10 times. That's 160 damage a round. And then you look at the fighter over there who goes, I attack once, I miss half the time, and I can hit for 10 damage because I haven't worked on my strength since level 2 because all I've worried about is armor. So it's like, okay, you have the druid, me, dealing 150 plus damage a round if I was really, like, ready to go in. Guns a-blazing, so to speak. You want me to paralyze or kill? Your choice.
Paralyze.
Paralyze, alright.
Yeah.
But you had me doing that, and then you had the other fighter, which was my mom's character, who, I mean, it wasn't, like, bad, but again, because I'm so strong, it made her look weak. And then you had the wizard, who would stand behind everyone, which makes sense. But then every single time someone would go attack him, I'd have to jump in. And then I'd have to heal myself, and then all that shit. But because I'm a bear, I can't help the party with most stuff, because I can't do anything as a bear. Or, I can, I'm just very limited. And... Yep. There we go. And... these guys are all...
Druid again?
Because my dad said he would have to change every single thing in the game to make the druid. He said he would have to take away my stats when I shapeshift. So, like, instead of shapeshifting into a bear and then, like, keeping my stats, I would shapeshift into a bear and then keep the stats of the bear. So if I were to switch into a hummingbird, for example, I would shapeshift into a creature with 1 hit point and 1 strength. I would die to anything. But in reality... So right now when if I were to shapeshift with the old druid, I could become a bear with 25 strength, Titan strength. Because my druid had that high strength. So basically it's like, even though my body is now a bear, I keep my stats and my magical abilities. Does that make sense? But now he's like, well, if you're going to do that, if you're going to play another druid, which I've talked about it, he's like, I'm going to have to completely remove your shapeshifting magic. You won't get your abilities when you shapeshift now. Because it's too broken. And I was like, okay, then I guess I'll just have to wait till a higher level and I can find like a tattoo that lets me do that, you know, like kind of make me have to work for it, you know, which I'm okay with. And then he was like, well, I'm also going to have to increase the amount of XP you need. And I'm like, okay, I guess that should probably be priority number 1. I guess that makes sense. And he's like, yeah, I'll probably have to go after the cleric spell table. Which they're you know, the cleric is a medium XP requirement.
He's just like nerfing you purposely because he doesn't want you to get too OP.
Think of me as the Dragon Knight. Everything would get, yeah, he would do that, he would do the XP, and then he was like, alright, I want you to use you would use the cleric spell progression table, which is like 50% slower. So basically, instead of getting 7th level spells at level 10, like a druid would, I get them at level 18. Which is the end of the game, basically. And I only get 1. And then he was like, well, if you're gonna play another druid, I'm not gonna let you dual wield. And I'm like, okay, so now I'm now limited with my offensive and defensive capabilities because most shields are not wooden. They're, you know, I can only use wooden armor, or sorry, a wooden shield. And he's like, well, I mean, we have to have some adjustments. And I was like, Dad, by the time you actually calculate all the adjustments, you have now taken away every single thing that makes my character unique. And then he was like, oh, well, I'm also going to nerf the spells themselves. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you know how you can summon a fire elemental? Which I can do. Druids can summon a very high level elemental. It absolutely is a broken spell. Like, at like level 10, you can summon a level 24 monster. Like, it's disgusting. But... Chest up ahead. But you only do it once a day. But the thing is, the creature can only be hit by magic weapons. Which either means A, none of the enemies you're fighting can hurt the elemental. Or B, if they are hurting the elemental, that means they have magic weapons. And if they have magic weapons, then that means we can sell them for gold, thus getting even more magic down the road. You see the thing there? Here you go. Help! Yeah, I really don't want to start new characters. I just don't like restarting. There you go. Johnny, what are you doing? Come on. What are you doing? I'm dying over here. Especially because if I were to make, like, I'm a fighter cleric, which means god. Seriously? Jesus, they're just letting the dog. What the fuck? Just waiting for the dog to stop. Do you only have one damaging spell?
I have multiple. I was casting it. Oh, I got a longbow.
Let me break all these barrels for more XP. I have a longbow as well. Ooh, that's actually a good augment I just got. Reggie, come on! Jesus, dog. Nobody has fucking control over that dog.
Trade.
Do you have meth?
Yes.
What?
Can you wear this?
Yeah, no. Can only wear light. I don't even fucking remember what I was saying for that dog. Started barking.
I'll need to rest at the shrine after one more fight.
Okay. Oh yeah, I remember. But yeah, the guy only plays like, you know, he only really plays a fighter, and now he's like, I want to play a monk. I want to play a monk. A first edition monk, which is the hardest class in all of D&D, because you have the hit points. Power, Jesus Christ, man. Let's get the fuck out of here.
What the fuck?
I'm literally paired with retards. What's happening?
Come on.
I gotta heal us. Okay, top.
Where these hiring is so stupid.
At like level 10, it all kind of goes away. That's
And the server lagging. That's not helping. You wanna just revive them down here first?
It's frozen for me. I can't do anything.
it's frozen for me as well. Yeah, let's revive them first. I need to rest anyway.
Okay. But the guy is saying like, oh, I want to play a monk. I want to play a monk. I want to play a monk. And the guy's never played a monk. He has literally only ever done a fighter. He's never played a ranger or an archer. He's never played a spellcaster of any kind. He's never even played a fighter cleric combo. It's always been a straight fighter. And now the guy's like, I want to be a monk, which he doesn't know how to play a non-fighter, which is going to kill him. So his number one priority when it comes to playing D&D is defense. That's his style, and that's fine. The problem is that he doesn't know a lot about different types of magic out there. He always just goes, oh, I want +1 armor, +2 plate armor, +3 plate armor, and a +3 shield. The thing is that the monk can't do any of that. The monk has no dex bonus. He has no strength bonus. He has no armor. and he has no shield. So the guy's basically walking around naked for like 10 levels. And the thing is, he sucks at rolling. The guy's nice and all, but when it comes to just rolling the dice, he sucks. He always rolls really bad. And I have to be the one to end up carrying him. And the problem is that there have literally been games where I have actually carried him. Literally. Where, like, he'll die, or he'll do so bad in combat. My character's like, I physically have to pick him up and lead him away from the fight. He's more dangerous to the party than he is the enemies. Alright, there you go. Spell resistance. Nope. Throw that ring away. And the guy wants to play a wizard, and that's fine. Or the guy, not a wizard. The guy wants to play a monk, and that's okay, but you have to play a monk a certain way to be successful. So, like, when you play a monk, you have to basically constantly get magical tattoos. I know that may sound weird, but tattoos are the only thing that you can do to survive. You can't use rings. You literally are wearing a shirt and some pants. That is what the book says you are permitted to wear. And every single campaign ever, he's like, I need good armor, I need good armor. And I have a feeling if we were to actually restart, which I think we are going to, which I fucking hate, he'll be like, well, what do you mean I can't wear plate armor? I'm a monk, what do you mean? He'll get bored of it by like level 3. Or what's gonna happen is that he'll probably die, because he'll walk in as a monk and be like, oh, I'm just as good as a fighter at level 1. Die, because he'll only have 4 hit points compared to like 10. And his damage will be 1d3 instead of 1d10. So he'll probably die, which means we'll either have to A, resurrect him, which at level 3 is very hard to do. Or he'll just roll a new character and it'll likely be a fighter anyways. Of course he got it. And I don't know what class to play because it's like somebody else said they wanted to play the wizard, and that's fine. Somebody wants to play a fighter, and that's fine. Which means that we need some type of cleric. And I'm like, I am literally, like, if that was me, that's fine. I would just do another fighter cleric. And then I'm like, wait, then at that point, why the fuck am I playing again? Why did I just re-roll a new character just to play another fighter cleric? Or why am I playing a paladin to where I'm a weaker version now? Does that make sense? It's kind of like your wizard the other day when you were like, I'm just going to re-roll a wizard. And I was like, wait, you're going to re-roll, you're going to delete your wizard to make a wizard. That's basically what they would plan on doing. How are these guys still fighting one goddamn Minotaur? He's dead.
I died once.
Noob. What's that? Alright, I'm heading back.
Another chest.
Yeah, I know.
Collapsed
I already got that one.
portable hole.
I remember
Yeah, that
picking that
one is
up, and
for
it's not good
inventory.
for us. Hmm?
That one was for inventory.
Yeah, we just sell it. Yeah, I don't want to fucking reroll a character. It's like, the character I want to play is going to get nerfed. And the server is lagging, of course. Now it's lagging. It's like, the character I want to play, which would... Deep down, I would like to play another druid just because... He's so damn good!
I don't
Little,
like, I
you
don't
don't
like
need
the
a lot
way.
of XP.
I don't like the way that your dad lay thing now, cause you get powerful according to the system, but then your dad doesn't want you to be powerful.
Yes, and there are a few things in the book that weren't really tested. That if you actually use them properly, you can become dangerously powerful, and it's a little bit too OP, and that I completely understand. Like, for example, druids needing 200,000 XP to hit level 13, comparing to a paladin who needs 200,000 to hit level 5. That is a big difference. That is something I can be like, all right, if you're all fighting together, you're all earning the same P. There's no same XP. There's no reason one person should be level 12 and the others are level 8. That I can understand. But it's everything else that I want to do is like, I'm gonna nerf that, I'm gonna nerf that, I'm gonna nerf that, I'm gonna nerf that, and I'm like, well, at the end of it, I'm just like, I'm basically playing a cleric with a different spellbook at this point. Like, that's literally it. There were so many nerfs, or there were so many things he was like, all right, you're just gonna end up doing this for the cleric instead of the druid table or whatever. And I'm like, well, I might as well play a cleric then. If you're taking away my shapeshifting, I'm a cleric. If you take away the XP stuff that I need, I'm a cleric. If you take away my dual wielding, I'm now half as strong as I used to be. If you reduce my spell casting, what's the point of me having spells to begin with if you're gonna just nerf them? And then, if you're not letting me use my stuff when I shapeshift, I'll never shapeshift, because then I will always die. I mean, this may sound weird, but at level 10, let's say, let's just look at our characters right now. Okay, I have 187 hit points on this ranger, for example, right? If I were to shapeshift, let's say, if I was a druid and I shapeshifted into like a hummingbird, I would have 1 HP. I would be level 8, I'd be fighting reapers and ogres and trolls, and I would have 1 hit point because I'm a level 1 hummingbird. So I'm like the size of a rock, and anything can kill me. That's what my dad is intending on doing. He's like, well, if you shapeshift into a bear, you're going to have the stats of a bear. Well, the stats of a bear does 1d3 damage, and you have 50 health. My druid had like 190. So basically, to kind of simplify it, every single time a druid would shapeshift after he nerfed it, it would not... You would never use a druid for combat ever again. Because now you can't even... He was saying that he was even going to take away the healing for it. He was like, alright, well, instead of dealing, 50% of your health, I'll probably just have you heal 1d5 damage. Which is like a 90% decrease. Alright, I'll be close by 1 second. Alright, you ready?
Where you were heading to?
The same place, just slightly to the right. Finally, I can invest in the deep wood stalker. Alright, let's go fast. Oh, you're still in the tavern doing drugs. You picking spells or something, or selling stuff?
So, and then it's just putting some enhancement on. I can now wear medium armor.
Do you even have medium armor?
No, but I will soon.
Amateur.
What was that? Punk? Would you like a ring?
Okay. I got some nice rings for now. Probably go a few levels before I upgrade them. You have failed me for the last time.
I'm not used to not having Fatal Fall by default.
Yes, because you're a wuss. How quickly we can do these quests in reality. Alright, I got 2 of them. Good job. Do you want a cookie? To think, I'm gonna have to farm for like an hour and a half after this. Ooh, a rapier. That I'll never use.
Bring up tumble. Wow. Reminded you of your monk.
Yes, when he could tumble like 9 times in a row. What did I pick up? Intimidate. I don't need intimidate.
There's a chest.
I'm literally ignoring gear right now. Because I know the chest is not going to have anything good for me. Oh yeah, he also, one of the guy that's like, oh, I want to play a monk, blah, 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 that stuff, he also wants to have his girlfriend play D&D. Now, I have nothing against a woman playing D&D, first and foremost, just get that out of the way. The problem I'm going to have is because, well, I think they're actually engaged now.
Okay.
But the problem I have with that is because in the past, when he has shown us videos of them all playing D&D in different groups, right? He has absolutely given her favoritism.
Well,
so
that's to be expected.
Right, but that's very problematic though, when you have 2 characters dying and you always pick one character over another. So I think there was one, it was kind of like the identical type, don't even know if you know about that. But it's kind of like identical, I don't even know what the name, I don't even know if there is a name for it. But you're basically in between 2 enemies, and one enemy has one person and one enemy has another. You have to like choose which one lives, which one dies type thing. And yeah, and you know, that's always a difficult decision. I try and think logically about that. I'm like, well, I'd rather probably save a spellcaster because maybe they have some magic that can help. But he was saying that one time his dungeon master, his DM, put him in that situation. And even though, and he ended up choosing his fiance, which you knew that was coming. The problem is that everybody ended up dying. That entire dungeon except her. And then he said that during the end they were fighting like a baby dragon, like enough to where one could kind of hurt you, but not enough to where you're in too much danger. They were fighting like a young baby dragon, and he said something about like a fireball or like breath attack or some shit like that, like magic. And his fiance's character was about to die. And instead of letting her die and shoot the dragon, right? Because I guess they were all like at 1 HP anyways. He decided to jump in front of... Come down here, we're done. He decided to jump in front of the dragon, killing himself and his fiance at the same time because the breath weapon is AoE, so it just goes around him too. So and he would have killed him. Apparently, he only had a couple hit points left, but because he was so like trying to be nice to her, even though they've played lots of games together, it absolutely caused fucking problems. Because if he would have shot the dragon, he could have gotten away and they all could have had magic and raised themselves. But he chose to try and save her, got himself killed and then also got her killed. And then apparently he was pissed about it because the dungeon master was like, dude, I don't know what you expected. I told you not to throw yourself in front of it. You knew the dragon was about to die. I don't know why you're pissed. I told you to fight. And he's like, no, I didn't want her. I didn't want her dying. That's that's not fair.
That's a game. Come on, dude.
And it's like, yes, I get each person's gonna love their own character. Hell, I love my druid. I don't want him to die either, but it's like, I'm not going to sacrifice the entire campaign for one person.
Yeah.
But he did that, and I guess the campaign ended because they all died, and they had to reroll new characters. So, while I have nothing with people playing D&D with their partners, you cannot deny that that absolutely will cause a problem down the road. Between saying, well, I want to save my partner's character because I love her, or him, her, whatever. But also, I'm not playing smart anymore. I'm just thinking of the real life situation, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's not real
like,
life, isn't it?
That's the thing. It's like, well, in real life, I want her to be happy and win the game, but it's like, if I make this decision, we all lose. I ran out of hirelings, by the way.
Oh yeah, let's buy a new hiring.
Yeah.
You want Belt of False Light 13?
Now I got a death block one. But he was bringing that in, and I haven't spoken to him. I've just been busy. But I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, Patrick, don't fucking let her play. I've never met her, and I have nothing against her. But I'm thinking to myself, like, you are inevitably going to do something stupid to try and save her because you want to be nice. Like, for example, if your wife came over to you right now and said, I want to learn to play Dungeons & Dragons online, I would absolutely be like, don't do it, but if you want to, go right ahead. The problem is that her joining, let's say she did it right now, for example, it would be insufferable for us. You cannot deny that. You would probably have fun, spending time with your wife, playing games, doing that, bonding, whatever. That's great. But everyone else would be like, oh my god, everyone is suffering.
Which one did you buy?
I bought Fergus.
Okay.
Who I have absolutely no idea about this character. I don't think I've ever actually used summon this person. But I'm gonna head back to the airship to rebuff.
Yeah, same.
Because I get he loves her, but at the same time, this is a game, and I want to have fun, but I'm not gonna have fun if every... Apparently he did that multiple times, though. Apparently there were... My cousin threw that because he also played with them.
As much as I want my wife to play with me, she doesn't understand games the way I do. like even when
Sorry.
It's a quick way to teleport from the airship back to certain region.
Yeah, I accidentally teleported to Deneath, not Fireland.
Screw it, I'm just gonna jump off.
Okay, I'll just meet you at Fireland.
She doesn't understand game the way I do, and she doesn't even have a history of playing game like I do. The most she did was playing on her PS1 back when she was a kid, and that's it. She doesn't have much experience about how game develop over the years. What was good game, what's bad game. There was time when she asked me, hey, I wanna play some farming game.
Alright, I'm here.
And I show her my farming simulator in the Steam, and she said, no. That is too professional. Your game library is all professional playing. I'm not playing that. So I went online, I searched for a page, like flash game, just play simple flash game online server to play. And after 5 minutes, she gave up.
Yeah.
So
The best thing I can kind of compare it to is like imagine having your wife come play D&D with us, and like we get a whole bunch of other friends, right?
yeah.
And it's like 10 of us at a dungeon, really cool, right? And imagine every single game you giving her magic out of your own because you're like, yo, I want her to be stronger. I want her to be stronger, and it's like, Johnny,
But she doesn't
you've
understand
given her
the way that it works.
left. There you go. Oh no, she understands. She's been playing D&D. It's just he wants to be so nice and help her.
I'm
It
talking
will
about my
screw the
wife.
party.
My wife doesn't
Oh no,
understand
no,
how
I was
this
using
works.
that as an example though. But like, imagine we had like 10 friends in this group, right? And then your wife came in. Imagine every dungeon, you jumping right in front of her to protect her, even though you might be a wizard. And I'm like, dude, come on, stop being a bitch. She's got to fight her own fights.
Like you have to be
And then
reasonable. Come on.
Shit. Hold on. Is he summoning? Oh, he is summoning. What's he summoning? Really?
Huh?
Okay, I guess that's good. But,
Like playing game is all about doing your role instead of
Alright,
like
let's go.
stupid heroism.
I paralyzed as many as I could. It's just the rest of the party would suffer. And I don't mean like emotionally, like I'm sure we'd all have fun doing it, but like in terms of progressing, it would be so slow.
Yeah.
Because he would always choose her over anyone else, and I'm like, okay, if she was like a wizard and she had some magical spells, I could make an exception. But when she has 3 hit points and the wizard has a 9th level spell and you choose her over the wizard, that's pretty fucked. You are apparently my cousin had like kind of called him out. He's like, dude, you're just saving your fiance. You need to do it for the party. I get you love her, but it's like, we're dying. He's like, that's not true. I'm doing it because she's useful.
No.
And I'm like, that is such bullshit. Shit, I'm feared. Alright, I'll get the one at the top. Can you get that one down there?
Yeah.
Okay. But, yeah. I don't know what type of class she even plays anyways. I will accept any class other than a rogue. Seriously. Not that rogues aren't important, it's just rogues, every single rogue player in the history of D&D wants to go do rogue shit. And the problem is that that's not what D&D is meant for. Like, it's not meant for one person to play a rogue and then all the fighters, the wizards, and the spellcasters join them.
So what did they do exactly?
What do you mean?
Rogue player.
Oh, I don't know. I was just saying, I hope she doesn't play a rogue. If she joins us, I hope she doesn't. I don't know what class she normally plays. I will accept anything but a rogue. Because a rogue is always like sneak attack style. Which means in a game, the rogue is always going to be playing basically by themselves half the time. Because they're like, I'm going to go stealth, I'm going to go backstab, I'm going to go assassinate. You guys do all the combat, and then I'll get all the loot at the end. So it's like, a rogue spends most of their game time just planning, and then occasionally rolling. When a fighter jumps into the front lines and is attacking every 6 seconds.
Like, seriously, you saw my role. I couldn't do much.
What's the thing? Basically, imagine it like that, where half the time the party is waiting for you to disable traps. That's what it would be like with the rogue in the board game. Half the time, the party isn't doing anything, they're texting because you're like, oh, I want to do a stealth mission. And that's fine, I get that. I've played an assassin, I get that. But I still feel bad for the people that I played with, because I'm like, oh, looking back on it, yeah, I get it. But yeah, any class but a rogue or assassin, kind of the same thing. I'm happy with. Alright. Lever's done. Yeah. I hope we can just keep going with our characters. I sincerely doubt it though. Just cause I kinda had a mindset of like making a monk with like 6 arms, because I think that would be absolutely hilarious to see. And I also think that would be very dangerous. Getting punched 6 times every single round instead of twice. But we will find out next month. Which is kind of stupid because my parents were like, "Oh, well, we're going to take another trip back to go see your cousin. We just want to see your cousin. We just want to see your cousin." I'm kind of sitting there and I'm, Dad, you guys are not fucking retired yet. You cannot just take every other weekend off to go see the cousin.
Why? Come on.
Oh, because my dad, I was like, "Wait, why? You just literally got back from a vacation." And he's like, "Well, Mom really wants to see her nephews." And I'm like, I don't care. She still has work to do. You just take off every single week. He lives 6 hours away. What, are you going to do that drive every other Friday and Saturday? So, I don't know what the fuck is going on. That even. Two chests down here. Come on, game.
So
There we go.
bad.
Keep in mind, these are the better versions of them.
Supposed to be.
Yes, they're supposed to.
Feel like near the end, I'm gonna suddenly switch to from the other enhancement tree instead of this combat. Something.
Keep in mind, you always have the option to do a quick
Yeah.
reset. Take 2 minutes of your life.
It's just the other enhancement tree. It may potentially helping well if I'm not like fighting with negative energy. I'm low on spell, and my highling also slow as spell.
Yeah, it's shrine of bed. Up, down, and then to the right. you can walk out into the sunlight.
Yeah, I always sit inside most of the time. And that's how my work is. Only sit inside.
Yeah, I am really hating my at 8 a.m.
And then they crank the AC to the max. It's so cold. I know it's nice for you, but it's cold for me.
It was 62 inside one of the buildings over here. Today it was 62 in one of the buildings, and I know because I walked by the thermostat and it dropped to 60, and I was sweating in my armpits. And I had a short sleeve shirt on. I'm wearing the same short sleeve I had on earlier.
You're such a polar bear.
Shut up, communist.
What does it have to do with hot?
I was just making sure Twitch knew you were a chunk communist.
I do that when you started your streaming.
The communist stream. You can get sponsored by Mother Russia. Sponsored by the Communist Party.
Yeah. Did the summon disappear?
The spiders? Yeah, when you rest at a shrine, they reset. Because they're technically a spell. We are literally 10 seconds away from the finale and you have to summon. Look at that amateur damage. I leveled up.
I have a little more.
Okay. How much?
Two bars.
Just give me the XP at the bottom. How much do you need roughly? That's
Right now I have a 304,000.
And you need 324 or 314?
I mean, just do one more quest. Will be good.
You sure it's 10 o'clock?
Alright, tomorrow.
I mean, I know we can do a dungeon in 5 minutes. There is one. We should. We gotta head there anyways. I might as well go there now and just bind.
Tomorrow is fine.
Well, I gotta bind.
Yeah.
I don't wanna die just in case. Another reason though that I hold on, Jurassica. We're doing the 50 zombie quest because that's a level 7 quest.
Okay.
Another reason, like, I don't want to restart is because I don't want to lose spells. I have played a spellcaster my entire life. Sorry, over here. I've played wizard, I've played druid, I've played cleric, I've done assassin, which was part wizard, I've done all that shit. Being a fighter or being a paladin, you have like no magic. Yes, you have some cleric spells, but you have to be like level 10 by the time you get them. And then by then, you already have a bunch of potions and scrolls that can do the same shit. Ooh, we got an augment, nice. Okay, I will wait. I am going to farm for 2 hours.
Wow, double shot plus 2%. That's very strong.
I'm back in my Blightcaster. Do you want me to stream my Blightcaster gameplay at least while you're or
No,
so you can watch?
that's fine. I already know that you're all powerful.
How many tokens am I at? I'm at 8. Ugh. Gross. I forget I can only get 7 per week. Unless... Oh. Oh. Oh! I forgot I could have been queuing up for parties this entire time.
Okay.
Dude, just jumping into this dungeon, I lost my will already.
Why?
Just because... this fucking... The idea of only being able to play a quest 7 times in a week, I think is stupid. Before you lose all your rewards. I think it is... I don't... It's been... See, look.